Well, welcome back, folks. This definitely was a cold start to our day. Temperatures about as cold as they've been since all the way back into April or back into the early spring time frame. And to make this a little more larger than what it may be, actually, is to talk about the fact that these are the coldest temperatures that we've seen this early in the season, going all the way back to 1988. So maybe that's a sign for the winter season ahead. Maybe not. We'll see. But right now, I can tell you it dropped down to 33 degrees in Chattanooga, 30 in Cleveland, 30 in Dalton, Scottsboro at 30, 27 in Altamont, 32 degrees in Dayton this morning, and 28 in Murphy. Many folks at or below freezing. Now notice most of our Tennessee communities at or below freezing. So that pretty much ends the growing season there, which basically means they're probably not going to issue any more freeze warnings or frost advisories until we get towards the spring. Now for areas south of Tennessee and North Georgia, northern Alabama, there's still a chance of that happening. So they've issued more freeze warnings coming up for us tonight. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. But you can see temperatures are warming up a little bit now that the sun is out. Dry air cools off quickly at night, but heats up quickly during the day. So we've got 40s to right around 51 degrees here currently in Chattanooga. The wind is still blowing out of the north and west, and so you're going to have a little bit of a breeze, but it's nothing like what we saw yesterday. 51 degrees now will climb to about 59 by 3 p.m., 55 degrees at 6 p.m., and then once the sun sets, we drop quickly down through the 40s as we go throughout your Wednesday evening, so kind of prepare for that. But before we get to Wednesday evening, we'll have our Wednesday afternoon. I think it'll get up to about 58 in Cleveland, 57 in Athens, 54 degrees in Murphy, and 58 degrees in Scottsboro, and 51 up along the plateau there in Altamont. So here's kind of what I was talking about. If you look at this map, you say, well, what happened? Are we not going to get below freezing again as we get into Tennessee and North Carolina? Well, yes, it will likely be about as cold as it was this morning, tomorrow morning, if not a degree or two colder. But the growing season has officially ended now for areas north of Chattanooga. So that's why they're not going to issue the freeze warning, because we've already gotten well below freezing in these locations. The story in Georgia and Alabama, different National Weather Service offices, but it's just an indication that, hey, we could see more freezing temperatures widespread. And we are expecting that tonight with more upper 20s to lower 30s showing up across the area. So it will be another frosty, if not freezing start as we go into your Thursday morning as well. Look at the cold air mass just really encompassing most of the eastern half of the country, but watch what happens here. The wonders of Mother Nature here. We're going to have a complete pattern flip across the country. All of the cold air in the eastern half of the country is going to rotate to the north and then rotate all the way back to the west, which will actually pull all the warmer air to the west to the east. So that means for us, if you don't like the cold weather, guess what? We've got some much warmer weather, Pacific flow basically coming into the area as we get towards the upcoming weekend. So as we look at your temperature trends, you'll see we've got the 50s again this afternoon, 70 by Friday, and we're in the upper 70s near 80 by the time we head towards the beginning of next week, and that's above average. Also, no humidity the next few days, but look at the humidity really ramping up as we get towards the middle of next week. That could signal a chance of rain. Not so much for Saturday or Sunday or even Monday really, but by Tuesday we'll have rain and storms developing to our west, and that front will sweep through Tuesday into Wednesday, giving us again a chance of rain. As far as rainfall totals, not looking very high out there. In fact, about a tenth to maybe up to a quarter of an inch in some isolated spots. So your Storm Alert 7-day forecast, again, the frosty conditions now pretty much over with for today, but they return for tomorrow morning. And then notice we're near 70 on your Friday. But look at that, Latrice, the weekend. What a difference. Back up into the upper 70s. This is going to be spring-like. Spring break, maybe?
We're going to feel like spring-like after this weather. Thank you so much, Cedric.